Well, hello, my rookie card collecting friends. Today, this is going to be more of like a chill video. I'm just just gathering up some thoughts with all of the Fanatics Fest and I've been doing a lot of investigating, whether it be through social media or actual people that I know who are at the show, whether they're attendees or um, people actually set up at the show. And so I just want to share some of that insight. Just want to catch up on a couple of like rookie card things that are kind of on my mind. And I think we're going to call it a wrap right after that. But I do have some very interesting information about Fanatics Fan Fest. I'm going to give you at least my opinion and my take on it. But first, let me start with um, the 2023-24 Topps Chrome basketball. It's just something that I noticed that I found kind of humorous, and I guess I just wanted to bring it up here. But I did notice as I was looking around at things this week, I did notice this box here that we see here. And you notice at the top left corner of the box, they got in real big print. They have the Players Association logo. And I mean, it is huge. I have never seen one that big displayed on a box. I don't know what they're trying to imply here. Are they trying to imply that this is licensed? But the thing is that typically when it comes to rookie cards, it has to be fully licensed. It takes, right, the two licenses. And that's not something that I made up. That is something that was brought in by the Players Association, adopted by some people in the hobby, as that is really the way to go. And why do we follow that? Why? Because in the past there has just been too many shenanigans played by the card manufacturers and everybody racing to be the first company to produce these cards. And so this kind of put everybody in check, that you can't be printing cards too early. You can't be this competition of, putting players in 2, 3, 4 years early in the sets, and all of that had to stop. And that's how come they came in and put a kibosh to that kind of thing. Some people don't care. Hey, and that's your thing. That's fine. But I found it rather interesting that we don't care, or some people don't care about it, but that it's sold out. That apparently this was, but we don't know print runs, so that doesn't impress me that they sold out. I mean, they sell out, I'm assuming, often, I would think, but how many did they make? So that piece of news doesn't really impress me because I don't have all the facts. And so also, that it broke their website. There's a lot of products that they release that breaks their website, but that doesn't mean that the product is a must have. That means that they have a pretty crappy website is what that means. And if you ever tried to buy something from the Topps website, especially through a mobile phone, the hassles that app or website has on a mobile phone. So none of that stuff, all of that stuff is hype. But this really is a product designed for the Wemby and LeBron autographs. And that's all this is about. That's all that the people are after. There was a backlash on social media platforms on the designs and the pictures and the no logos on the uniforms. It was a bust, as I anticipated. And the reason why I'm even bringing this up, and it might be old news, but I'm bringing this up because at the Fanatics Fan Fest, they advertised the 2024 Topps Chrome football that is soon to be released. And of course, they put the best photos up there of the Bears quarterback, Caleb Williams, and they made it look where, it kind of the same thing they did with Wemby, just a great photograph. And you see the autograph and it's just like generating all this excitement again. It's like, here we go. We're falling for it again. And it's no more than that stuff's going to get released. We're going to see the true colors that this is nothing but a pig with lipstick on. Anyways, with that said, let's switch over to the Fanatics Fest. I do know somebody who is an actual dealer at the show, so I'm getting a little bit of insight, at least from his opinion, right? At least kind of his experience that he's kind of going through. And then I kind of want to share with you my thoughts on it. But I hear that, on Friday was a slow start to the show, and I think that's anticipated. To city people typically work a work schedule that is, Monday through Friday, and so not a lot of people in attendance on Friday. So things were a little bit more calm, things were a little bit more pleasant, a little bit more elbow room, and Friday night seemed to be very exciting, very, very good. And so now Saturday morning comes along, and it's getting busy, right? It is just packed to the gills, and that's really is fantastic. That's great. And then I hear some, with the VIP bag, that some people were very disappointed with what they received in the VIP bag, and that I can understand that. I mean, but it could be that could be done intentionally. They may just want to, hey, don't expect all this great value inside the VIP bag. The VIP is more to get you in the building. But I did see some packs. I mean, the packs were kind of sad looking, but I did notice that there is a PSA magazine, and that's the magazine covers for PSA come out monthly. I get them, and this month they have Kobe Bryant. They're celebrating Kobe Bryant, and there's 3 variants to the cover this month. Well, actually, there's one base cover, the blue, and then there's 2 variants, which I think is gold and silver. And they're giving away the gold over at the Fanatics Fest. That's the tougher one of the 3 to pull.
Collected by many and respected by all, Kobe Bryant's legacy is unparalleled, and we're honoring his greatness with Mamba Month. And because of the jersey match month-year combo, we've got a number 8 cover as the base and number 24 covers as the chase. And though the latter will be exclusive to Collectors Club members, Fanatics Fest NYC is the only place to get this hardware-fronted variant.
And so that's a really good magazine to have of Kobe. Great image. And with PSA going to be grading magazines here and comic books coming up next year, I might, that one could be worth something, because it is the lower print runted one, I believe. And it's a fantastic image of Kobe. But I tell you, I get these magazines every single month from PSA, and they are phenomenal magazines. And the only one that I got that was a variant was the month for Barry Sanders, which might have been over a year ago now. No exclusive cards was another bummer. That a lot of that stuff is inside the VIP bag. When you go to the National, you got nothing this year. You do have the exclusives to the Fanatics Fest inside of the Topps Chrome product, but you have to get you have to purchase a box of Topps Chrome in order to have a chance at pulling one. So that might be, historically, the National will have cards made for the event, and it has a stamp on it. I'll put a picture up here somewhere. It has a stamp on it that actually says, NSCC, whatever. And they actually do pretty well in the secondary market. I know every time I put one up for sale, it moves pretty quickly. From what I'm getting, it seemed like at least on Friday and part of the day on Saturday, I don't know, things might change the rest of the way, but it seemed like the card show was more of a secondary thing, not so much the primary thing. I did hear that Jalen Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo, I think I'm pronouncing that right, they left the show. Apparently, they left the show that they were upset. They were upset how things were being ran. It was just a little too chaotic for them, and they bounced. I did hear that there are a few dealers that are struggling, but it's dealers that either have ultra high end or all vintage, and those two extremes, they seem to be struggling a little bit. But the dealers that are in between the $20,000 and $1,000 range, they are having fantastic sales. I know the car dealer that I know here is actually, he has had to purchase cards in order to fill up his display cases twice. That's how good of a show he's been having, and I guess the immediate people around him are having. But again, if all you have is ultra high end and if all you have is vintage, you're kind of struggling to make ends meet right now. I'm hearing the autograph area was pretty much in shambles on Friday. It was just very poorly set up, very poorly ran. But good news is that overnight they made some adjustments to get things running right. And I think that's kudos to the staff, right? That those are the kind of things you're going to run into, especially when you are a new event. You're going to run into problems, but how you handle those problems is what makes or breaks you. So, but they did have an autograph in the autograph pavilion, was in shambles, but they made some adjustments and got them fixed for Saturday. But overall, I think the vibe is really right. It's a festival, right? A lot of comparisons I hear to like an all-star fest for Major League Baseball, but this is kind of a unique situation where it actually looks and feels, and the atmosphere is one of a festival, and that is, man, it's just awesome to see when you have all of the leagues, all of the players, and I hear like their autograph pavilion. This was a point. I forget where I heard this point, but it made a lot of sense. A lot of times at the National, you have TriStar running the autograph pavilion, and they typically bring in the same players like every year. And a lot of it is the retired players, Hall of Fame players, or kind of like superstar level players. But at Fanatics Fest, you have actual players that are in the league right now, currently playing. So that's a plus, a big plus, in my opinion, to have that kind of access to players. So that's a good thing, right? But it seems to me, anyways, that it's just it's a good entry level, right? It's a good entry level event. I think it's one that they can definitely build on, and we can start to see when they're saying 10x the hobby, right? We can start to see the game plan starting to unfold. And this may be one of the primary avenues when you have all of the leagues, all of the commissioners, when you have all-star players, when you have these amazing events set up all around. I think they're bringing in the masses. And then from there, they're introducing them to the corporates, right? Like Tops and that sort of thing. And then from there, you get past the corporates. Well, now you get to the dealers and you have your chance at buying. So there's just this funnel that is happening. We're generating excitement with sports fans, and bringing the sports fans into the collecting world seems to be the game plan. I know overall, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm hearing. I know I've come to like a fork in the road, especially a man of my age at 53 years, especially when I've been doing this hobby thing for about 40 years. And you have this younger vibe coming in, kind of just absolutely taking over everything. As an old timer, you come to a fork in the road and you have to decide for yourself. At least I have to decide for myself, in my opinion, right? That, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to jump on board, or am I going to be for it or against it? And those are things where I typically, I'm okay with change. I like to embrace change. But at the same time, I'm going to try to figure out what's for me and what's not for me. I personally like this type of event. I think it builds excitement, and I think it's good for the hobby. But at the same time, I don't think it's for me. I would like to go to one, and I think I would be good after that. I just want to experience one. But for an old timer like me with 3 ankle surgeries and a hip replacement, I'm not going to be swinging hockey sticks or taking jump shots or running a 40-yard dash. It's just not going to happen, folks. So in that aspect, I would not participate. But it's one of them things that I would like to do once. And then after that, I'm good. I'm good with the national. I'm good with my regional and local shows and that sort of thing. So, but overall, I like the game plan going forward to grow the hobby. And I think thinking big picture, I think I'm going to get on board with that kind of thing. So listen, that is it for today. I told you it was going to be a quick one. And I got a lot of things planned. I got so much going on right now. I'm painting my house. I started painting my house. I only got half of my house painted, and then I took a 3-month break. So now I'm jumping back in to finish the paint job. I've got contractors coming down here giving me estimates for my basement. I am going to completely redo this thing. You're more than likely in the near future, I'm going to be doing videos upstairs. I'm not going to be able to do this. Is going to be under construction. This is going to be a really awesome man cave. As I get down here, there's going to be a big storage facility for like my eBay store. I'm going to have a family room. This is going to be my studio area here. And then we got a bathroom coming in and a really big gym area where all of our workout equipment is going to go. And this place is going to be rocking. I cannot wait to get started on this project. So I've got contractors coming. I may have to miss a week or so if I'm in the middle of all of this, because it's going to get pretty hectic, because I got to get all of this stuff out of here so these guys can come in and work. And so stay tuned for that. A lot of exciting stuff coming. I've got a lot of interviews coming with some folks. I got stuff lined up already. Hey, listen, well, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. If you like this channel, please consider subscribing at the very least. Give me a thumbs up. With all that said, until next time, buenos nachos, muchachos.